I've got the bread box that Jamie painted on our live video from last Saturday. It's not quite ready to go to the shop. She's got it painted and sealed up, but I need to put a stencil on here, but we didn't have a stencil that said bread, which is what she wants it to say. So I'm gonna see if I can hand letter it. I've got my Prismacolor hand lettering kit out. If you watched the last video that I did where I was trying to figure out some hand lettering, I went over a bunch of different markers and these by far have been my favorites, so I'm sticking with them. The kit was 20 bucks at Target. I've seen it at other craft stores and things, and you can definitely get it online. I'll put a link for you so you can find it easy if you want. You can see I've been doing a little practicing, not all of it successful. I'm going to attempt to just put the lettering on there without tracing or doing anything. I am gonna put some guidelines. I think I've got it figured out how I want the B to look on there, so we're gonna go with something like these scribbles here. I got a lot of great feedback in the last video from some people that actually know what they're doing, and several people said to use a guideline. So I'm just gonna take a ruler here and just really lightly, almost no pressure, just kind of run a little line across here so that I can erase it easy. And then that'll be the top. We'll kind of eyeball this. This will be the middle of my lettering. It's almost basically like when you're back in grade school and you get those guidelines so you can see where the letters are supposed to be to. And we'll do the bottom just a little bit bigger than the top. It's really hard to see these lines. I've got them on really light, but they are there. You can kind of see this one right up through here. So that's how light. I can see them all right on my end. So Prismacolor's calling these their dual end art markers, but this big end works like a brush tip. You can go real light or you can go thick. I'm still struggling with my upstrokes and my downstrokes, but we'll see what we can do. I might have to go in and manually thicken some of them, but if I mess this up, it's gonna be okay, because I'll just paint this again, sand it, paint it, and we'll try again. All right, so when I was practicing on the paper, I noticed if I kept my hand down and stable like I like to do, I didn't have enough room to make these bigger letters. So I've been trying to practice and holding my wrist down more, and then just controlling the motion with my wrist more than with my fingers. I'm all right with that. I like that. So I'm definitely gonna have to come back in and thicken some of these lines. I'm just too shaky holding my hand, and I know I'm not the only one with shaky hands out there, so maybe like if I had like a foam ball or something here for my wrist. Now the E was kind of tricky for me because it wasn't like the style I'm trying to mimic. It didn't have like a continuous flow like regular cursive. It made it look like it was, but there was just no way to do that. Oh, and I've gotten too small. My E needs to be bigger than that. We'll see if we can save it and make it look all right. So we transition to an A. I'm just gonna leave my A smaller, like the E. Messing this all up. Note to self, don't do it like I do it. I'm gonna call that good. It's a little longer on this side than it is on this side. I feel like that's centered enough. Now I need to go back in and actually make it look like something. It's kind of hand scratchy right now. You can see where I lifted all my marker points and things. So now I'm going to attempt to make this a little smoother. I like that thin line there, and I like this thin line here, but I want it to be a little thicker in through here and less jagged looking. I may have to distress this. Okay, so this is pretty fluid through here. I'm just going to start right here at this intersection and go a little thicker and smooth that out and try to lift my brush tip. I'm switching it up. I was using this brush, but I decided to get the chisel tip out here because I have more control with it. So I'm going to attempt to fill these lines in and make them look fluid instead of shaky. I'm gonna use this because I think this tip on the marker will do better for me when I'm going back in and adding thicker lines. So this was my upstroke, so I want it to stay thin. It's kind of hard to see because I got this white background, it's blind in the camera, but I've got these little fine pencil lines that I used as my guidelines, and I've got a kneaded eraser that comes with my kit that I got, my Prismacolor hand lettering kit, and I'm just gonna erase this off so that that's not visible anymore. I've got a 400 grit sanding block that I'm gonna take once I'm all done cleaning up these lines, and then I'll just kind of give it a little age to match the rest of the bread box. I was using the sanding sponge and it was kind of dragging the pigment of the marker into the pigment of the sealer or whatever, because it was still fresh enough, it wasn't cured. Should have waited a little longer. So what I'm going to do, and I found worked pretty well to give some age to these lettering, while it's still, I mean, it's probably been on here 5 minutes, I'm just going to use a damp, really damp cloth that's cleaning the cloudiness I got when I went over it with the sanding block and kind of dulling those letters just a little bit. I mean, I don't want them super dull, but just enough that they don't look like they're brand new on there. The lettering on here is finished. Hopefully you guys learned some good tips and tricks of what not to do, watching me kind of struggle through this as I learn how to do some hand lettering and get better at it. I'm finding that my hand is getting less shaky as I go. I'm figuring out where to do the upstroke and the downstroke a little better, but you know, it's a work in progress. So those of you that are good at hand lettering, if you have any more tips or tricks, please comment below. I love hearing from you guys and seeing what you guys have to say, and it helps me out quite a bit, and other people that are reading the comments can see that too. Be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more DIY.